Alright, so on this problem here, we have, this was the activity first problem. I'll do the first one and then see if they can work through question number 2 and 3. They don't have to worry about question 4 on this. And so it says that Shay's first day at Animal Haven, and Katie is showing him how to complete 3 tasks: cleaning the room, walking the dogs, and making food for the animals. Draw a diagram to represent each problem, then solve each problem. Down below, question number 1 is saying, first Katie shows Shay how to clean a rectangular rug in the quiet room. The rug covers 3/4 of the floor, and Shay cleans 1/3 of the rug before lunch. The reason we know we're multiplying is because we're doing a fraction of, so this little word of, another fraction. So that's kind of how we know that we are multiplying. The students are just now learning this, so if they are not really sure of that yet, that's probably why, because it's like day 2 so far. And then the question says, how much of the whole floor did Shay clean? So when we are multiplying fractions, we first want to start with the whole. And so in this case, in this question, the whole is the floor. So we're going to start by drawing an array. It's just a box at this point. And so this is equal to 1 whole, which is the floor in this problem. Okay. First thing that we want to do is we want to figure out how much the rug covers the floor. So we want to see how many parts we need to we need to separate the floor into, which in this case our denominator says 4. So the kids are going to go in and they are going to partition or put the floor into 4 parts. Now how many are shaded in this situation? So the rug covers how many spots of 4? It covers 3 of the 4. So we're going to go in with a highlighter or like a colored pencil, anything that's kind of colored, and we are going to color in 3 of 4 spots. So essentially in this situation, the green is representing the rug covering part of the floor. Okay? Now it says that Shay cleans 1/3 of the rug before lunch. We can do this a couple different ways. The kids can go in and now they can separate this into thirds, so 1 line and then 2 lines, and they'd have 1, 2, 3 to make it into thirds. Or the students can look at this and they can kind of just look at what does the rug take up. Well, the rug has 1, 2, 3 spots. It has 3 parts, right? If Shay is cleaning 1/3 of the rug, they would take another highlighter and they would go in and they would highlight 1/3 of the rug. Now that's kind of hard to see, but then to answer the question, we are seeing how much of the rug did they clean, or how much of the whole did they clean, the whole room? Well, they cleaned whatever both colors overlap, which is just 1 piece, so they cleaned 1. We'll just put the answer down here, that's fine. And then how many are there for our whole? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they cleaned 1/4 of the floor. So how much of the whole floor did Shay clean? They cleaned 1/4 of it. Okay. Now, with question 2, it's kind of the same thing. Question 2 is asking us to first make a hole, so make the diagram, the box, right? And then you're going to put it into 10 parts, shade 9, and then they walk 2/3, so then we're going to break it into 3 parts, and then you're going to shade 2 of the 3, and then however many parts overlap, that's how many your numerator is going to be. So however many miles they walked, that will be your numerator, and then the total will be how many parts are there all together in the whole. Okay. The third one, let me take this out from underneath. The third one here, it says that KT teaches Shay how to make the animal food. She makes 1/2 of the recipe. If the full recipe calls for 2 4/5 cups of vegetables, how many cups of vegetables did KT use? So we have these 2 fractions. Again, we see that word of, and so we are multiplying in this situation. We're taking a fraction of a fraction. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to start with our whole, but in this situation we have a mixed number and that is greater than 1 whole. So the kids need to understand that if you had 2 4/5, we would need to draw 3 wholes. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then we want to shade what they have. In this case it is 2 4/5, so we're going to go in. We would shade 1 whole, 2 wholes, and then for the third whole, I'm not going to shade all of it. I need to put it into parts, and it tells us how many parts with our denominator that are in the whole. In this case there are 5, so I would go in and I would separate this into 5 parts. And then I would shade 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, this is what represents this the second fraction, 2 4/5. So we've got 2 wholes and 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. I'm going to let the kids try to understand how they would make 1/2. So how are we going to figure out what 1/2 of this is for our final answer? And then if they still have questions on Monday, we will have time to go over some things. I will have time to walk through the stuff with them one-on-one or two-on-one since they're in the same class. And so we'll get it figured out. I don't want them to stress, but maybe this will at least give them a little bit of an idea of what we're doing in class. And so if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.